What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games. I'm here to bring you a beginner's guide to Demon Souls. So we're going to start this guide at the character creator because there's a lot of important decisions that are actually made at this start in the game. So body type A and B is a more feminine versus more masculine body type. This used to just be male and female in original Demon Souls. This actually does affect armor you can equip in the game, but you can actually change it later, so I'm not going to focus on this. I will go body type A just because there actually is better pieces of armor for body type A. Go into the important stuff, which is your classes. So as you can see in Demon Souls, there is a bunch of different starting classes. And the important part about these starting classes is actually their stats and not really what they're wearing, right? So you can see we have Vitality, which is for your HP stat. We have Intelligence, which is how much spells or miracles you can hold. And this also affects your MP bar as well. Endurance is how much you can actually equip and your stamina meter. This is probably the most important stat in the entire game. Strength is for strength of damage type, and Dex, which are both physical damage types. They're both exactly the same, except different weapons will require different amounts of each, and different weapons can scale with different sets. So a weapon could be, like a big sword could be better with strength and Dex, but like a rapier could be much better with Dex and strength, as an example. Magic is, if you decide to go down the magic path, this stat will actually be used to increase your damage. Same with faith. This will increase the damage of your miracles and how well your miracles, your buffs on your miracles work. And luck increases item drops, which is honestly the least important stat here and can be really totally ignored, right? Also note that each class starts at a different soul level. So your soul level is essentially just your level in the game. The higher your soul level, the higher your defense is. No matter what you do in Demon Souls, the more you level up, your defenses will go up. So in theory, an easier class would have higher level. As you can see, we got like the Barbarian at 9, and we got the Thief at 9. They have a lot of points in their characters already. To note, you cannot respect in this game as well, which means you cannot just totally undo your points. It's really hard and convoluted how to do it, and it's honestly not worth it. So when you level up, you have to be mindful of where you're putting your points. There are 3 starting classes that are great for beginners, and I'm going to say they are the Knight, the Priest, and Royalty. The Knight is a pretty buff class, good, well-around class, has 14 strength as well, and has very little luck. You actually start with pretty decent armor, and you get a pretty good shield as well. The Priest is your miracle character, and they actually get a mace, which is blunt damage, and a talisman, which they can cast heal on themselves, and overall pretty good armor as well. Very low luck, high in faith, high in strength, endurance, and vit. So there's no magic or dex on this class, which is fine because you would, with this class, you would go more for a faith build, or even just you could go into a pure strength build. And last but not least, Royalty, which is actually the easiest class in the entire game. It starts at level 1, so defensively, it is the weakest to start with. However, because it's level 1, you have the more options for leveling up your class. And this is one of the 2 classes that actually starts with a spell. So you get a Soul Arrow here, and you get a really good ring that increases the, I believe, the mana on your bar. And you also have a Circlet as well, which helps out your spells. You also have a Rapier, which is pretty incredible, and a Silver Catalyst. Magician also starts with magic. However, you get 2 different spells. You get the Fit Lame Toss, and you get Water Veil, which are both pretty great spells as well. The Wooden Catalyst does more damage, while the Silver Catalyst on Royalty, it gives you more mana overall. The important thing here is play whatever class you want to play as, but just note that these are the 3 easiest between the Knight, the Priest, and the Royalty classes. For your starting gift, always pick the Pyramidal Ring, just because all these other items are one-time only usage. And this item actually increases your item discovery, which is great because healing items in Demon Souls are one-time use items. They're not like an Estus flask where when you die, they'll restore to full or you go to a bonfire. It's not like that at all. If you're out of grass, you're out of grass for good until you can farm for more grass. So this will delay that inevitable point of no grass. Welcome to the game's tutorial. So in the tutorial level, you will have these messages that'll tell you what to do. Let's just dispatch of this guy first. It is very important to lock on in this game with R3 as well. Just a quick note. And you can easily block these guys' attacks with L1, or you can try to parry with an L2 to get a rest possé. So in Demon Souls, in all Souls games, the most important thing is controlling your stamina, which is the green bar on the screen. Backstepping by holding circle, or just pressing circle will use some of it. Rolling forward will use some of it as well. Running will also slowly drain the stamina bar as well. And of course, attacking will use your bar as well. Something to note, if you're complete out of stamina, it does take longer for your stamina bar to regen. And when you're out of stamina and you're trying to attack, you can't do anything. However, your stamina bar regens faster when you still have stamina. So you never want to have your stamina bar go to 0, because that is when you're at your weakest and you can only move. You can't roll or sprint or attack. You can just walk around, and that is it. So with every weapon, you want to test out the basics of the weapon. So here we have a R1 combo here. And then R2 will be a strong attack, which does more damage, but it does take more stamina. You also have a rolling attack. Rolling light, rolling heavy. Back light. Back heavy. You see that we have different animations, and pretty much every weapon has different animations for things like that. And then you can two-hand by pressing triangle. So by two-handing, it actually increases your stats by 50%. It does not deal necessarily 50% more damage, but your stats are increased by 50%, which lets you hold more weapons that you could not hold. Let's say there was a sword that you needed 18 strength for, but you only had 14. Well, now you got a bonus 7 points to your strength by two-handing it, so now you can wield that weapon. Your moveset also changes, and you do more damage in two-hand mode. So this is our light. Here's our heavy. As you can see, the animations are different, but they're sort of similar. Our back light and our back heavy. Roll light. Roll heavy. So those are your basics here for your attacking. And here's our menu, actually. And as you can see, we can equip multiple weapons. So you can have 2 weapons in your right hand, 2 things in your left. You can put a shield, you can put a wand, you can put anything. And then you have 4 equipment slots, 2 ring slots, ammo slots for your bows and arrows if you decide to use those, which I highly suggest using a bow and arrow if you do not have magic on your build. Bows scale with strength and dexterity, and if you're not going magic, you'd most definitely be raising your strength and dexterity. So definitely start using those. And then your hotbar, which is all the items you'll be using below. So you start with some grass and you start with a noble lotus. If you pick up the royalty class, we're going to remove the lotus because we don't really need it. And you can just go through your menus and see the different stats on your weapons. So we can actually click on our rapier here and see what the rapier actually does. So the rapier is a piercing weapon. So there's 3 different types in this game. There is piercing, slashing, and blunt. Different weapons do different types of damage, and different enemies are weak to different types as well. You can see the durability is 150 out of 150, which means it's at full, and the weight of the weapon as well. Weight does matter. If you are over 50% total weight on your character, you will not be able to have a good roll. So always play the game with under 50% of your total weight, which we can see here. As you can see, equip burden is 24.3%. I'm only 9 of 37. If that gets over 50%, my roll will be bad. And for a new player, you don't want to even remotely think about having a bad roll because the game is already hard enough as it is. So back to the rapier. As you can see, it has 75 physical attack, plus 6 bonus, 0 magic, 0 fire. And you can see the additional effects here. So it has no actual additional effects, but the important thing is attribute bonus. So it has E scaling with strength, and the minimum strength to hold this weapon is 8. And it has D scaling with dex, and the minimum dex is 12. So the bonus plus 6 next to my 75 attack power is the scaling it's getting from both the combination of my strength and dexterity points. And because I have a D scaling with my dexterity, is actually scaling better than the E scaling with my strength. And the best scaling is an S as well. So keep that in mind when you're leveling up your weapons with upgrades. The scaling can actually improve as well, which means you get more bonus damage as well. All right, and that's how we get a nice parry. So in Demon Souls, you can actually parry by hitting L2 at the right time of your shield. Not every shield is gonna have a good parry button, and not every shield can even parry. Since this is a small shield, they actually have a better parry window. You can also get a backstab on an enemy if you go right behind them. Not all enemies can be backstabbed. Pretty much they have to be humanoid, and they have to be similar in stature to you. They can't just be giants. Always remember to pick up items off of characters. There'll always be these white orbs. Once in the Nexus, you can store your additional items that you do not want at Stockpile Thomas. And here's your first shopkeeper, which you can actually repair your equipment, upgrade your weapon, which upgrading your weapon is the most OP thing you can do besides leveling up your stats. It's actually even better to level up your weapons than actually to level yourself up to do more damage. So if you want to do more damage, definitely focus on getting your weapon levels up. When you start the game, you have to go to 1-1. I do have to mention that on the top right of your screen, you can see your souls. Souls in Demon Souls are actually considered currency for yourself to level up. And when you go to shopkeepers and when you want to go to upgrade your weapons, you'll always be using souls. So try not to lose your souls is the most important thing you can do. For this demonstration, I'm going to go die here real quick. So when you die, you lose all your souls. However, they will be close to where you just died. If you're able to find your bloodstain and pick up your souls, you gain them back. However, you were to die again, you will lose your souls. So the bloodstains actually spawned right here. And as you can see, I got the 182 souls back, which isn't a lot at this point. However, it is something to make note, especially after you defeat a boss. You would want to immediately go back to the Nexus and always be picking up items. They'll always be something worthwhile, especially in the beginning of the game. This is a great time to mention that magic completely breaks this game and is easy mode. So you should definitely be looking into magic if you just want the easiest possible time. Now to go a little bit deeper into the gameplay of Demon Souls, each world has different weaknesses. So World 1, Baltaria Palace is weak to magic and piercing damage. They are resistant to fire and slashing. Stonefang is weak to magic and piercing, and resistant to fire and bludgeoning. Latria is weak to fire and slashing, resistant to magic. Shrine of Storms is weak to fire and blunt, resistant to slashing. And last but not least, Valley of Defilement is weak to fire damage and immune to all ailments. There is also a tendency system in Demon Souls. I'm on a different character than my starting character, so some of it is at pure white, some of it's in black, and then my character tendency is pure black. Character tendency is a way too detailed to go into it for this video, but I recommend checking out my character tendency video and my world tendency video to get more information on those. I will say for world tendency, every time you are in body form, go back to the Nexus and kill yourself. So whenever you beat a boss, go to the Nexus immediately after beating the boss, spend your souls, then jump off from the top of the Nexus and kill yourself. You want to do this so you don't negatively affect the world tendency in whatever world you die in. Because whenever you die in body form, there's a consequence, and your world goes towards black. And when your world goes towards black, the game gets harder, and you miss out on special events as well. There are a couple of OP beginner weapons as well. So the first one you can get is in 4-1, which is the Crescent Falchion +1. Is a weapon that's already been infused with the Crescent magic damage, which is pretty good. It is being guarded by this rather difficult enemy for 4-1. You just want to dodge that attack, pick this up, and then you can run away from him as well, so you don't have to deal with him at all at your beginning level. So the mace that we're looking for is actually down here. So in order to get this, we'll need to land on this plank and then fall. However, there are a couple enemies waiting for us down here, so that is something to definitely worry about. You're gonna want to immediately fall, disengage. And the item's actually behind this big tick, the Blessed Mace +1. A Blessed status actually gives you basic regen, which is fantastic. So 100% want to use that. It's going to be incredible in an area where enemies are weak to blunt, like World 4. Anyways, thanks you for watching my beginner's tips for Demon Souls. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time for more Demon Souls action. Peace out.